Our caller today is a delightful lady, lives on a farm, and is having trouble doing her activities of daily living, which, when you live on a farm, is pretty physical. We'll hear from her exactly how this neck issue is affecting her, what she can and cannot do, and then we'll get down to what's the best cause of action to try to make it better. All right, caller, can you tell me what's going on with you? What's happening? What's the issue right now?
I'm having a lot of pain in my neck. It radiates into my arms, shoulders, hands. My surgeon did an MRI. He looked at it. He told me that if he did surgery, it would probably be fusing 3 vertebrae, and that I would probably still have pain. So that didn't sound like the best option.
No.
Uh,
Have surgery and still have pain. Yeah, no.
right. That didn't. So he sent me to physical therapy. I went 8 weeks, and it just was not doing anything. And I'm going to a pain specialist. They just did another epidural shot last week, and it's pretty well already worn off. And they have suggested maybe a Medtronic device, but I'm not real sure on that one either. And so I'm needing to make decisions, and I really need another referral to another surgeon.
Okay. Can I ask you some clarifying questions?
For another opinion, really.
Right. About whether surgery is an option, or what would you like to know more about?
Whether surgery would help, or if I just need to keep going with the exercises and cold packs and the things I do here at home.
I see. Well, what is your day like right now with the neck and arm pain? Is it there every day? How severe is it? Can you give us a sense of what's going on for you day to day?
It never goes away, no. And there's in the mornings my hands are worse than they are like later in the day, so I think there's some arthritic going on. Or because that, I don't think it would improve if I didn't have some arthritis, but I've always got tingling in my hands, always pain in the shoulders, always pain in the neck. It just really is not getting better. I use ice packs. I use the Voltaren gel. They gave me 50 milligrams of Lyrica, and that seems to help a little bit. And I have baclofen that I take occasionally.
Okay. The first thing I want to do is try to figure out whether the pain is coming more from a joint or a disc or a nerve root. And then I want to get into more about how these things are affecting you. So now, on the question of what's causing the pain, is it worse in the neck or worse as it goes down into the arms and hands?
Right now, it's the back of the neck is what's bothering me the most. But I've got it all.
Yeah.
It's the shoulders and the hands are really irritating.
How does that affect you? Does that make it so you can't do things that you would like to be doing, or how does that impact your function?
Well, I raise dairy goats. There's no way I can milk.
Oh,
Yeah.
you do, and
Uh,
that's your job is raising dairy goats, or that's your main function.
yeah, that's my main thing. And so,
And
yeah,
if I
it's
may, you can't milk because you can't get down or you can't work your hand well enough to actually milk.
I can't keep going long enough to milk a goat completely out because of the pain.
How long does it take to milk a goat?
Pretty long when your hands aren't functioning.
Yeah. Probably doesn't matter what you're milking when your hands don't work right. Well, but if you were well, if you didn't have any problem, how long would it take you to milk a goat?
Well, some of them would probably only take about 5 minutes, 6 or 7. I don't know, something like that.
And how many would you
It's
normally?
according to
Yeah. Now, if you didn't have this problem, how many goats would you milk a day?
uh, maybe 10.
Oh, so you need to spend an hour, and I assume you sit on a stool.
Yeah,
Do they
and they're
kick?
on a stand. I mean, they're not. Well, I mean, some of them do.
They get on a stand, or you're down on the ground?
No, they get on a stand
Okay, well that's much better. And then you're
and
seated or you're standing.
seated. I'm seated normally next
Okay,
to them. Yes,
okay. And
and normally facing towards the udder so that I'm not, uh, I'm not really twisting a whole lot.
yeah, so under ideal circumstances, you actually could be seated and working straight in front of you. So it's not that you're not a mechanic trying to work on a car underneath or something. You're in a reasonably anatomical position, but you got to hold that for an hour as you get goat after goat after goat.
Right.
All right, yeah,
And so I can't do that.
yeah.
And there's like just opening up canned dog food for my dog. I started to use some extra equipment to get those things to pop off.
Oh, really? Because you
The
you
lid
lack
to
strength
pop.
in your hand.
Yeah, I can't. I just can't put the rings up and pull the tab up.
Ah, so you've
So
got you've
I've
got
got a
weakness.
I've got a lot of weakness.
Is one hand you right-handed or left-handed?
I'm right-handed. The surgeon had said I had a lot of weakness in the left arm.
Hmm.
My physical therapist had thought the left arm was weaker, so that's between the two of them. I don't know.
Is there numbness in the left
There
arm?
there is numbness and like in the fingers and the ring fingers. The
Okay.
little finger and the ring finger are probably the most. On the right hand, it seems to be more towards the thumb and the first finger.
Okay. So on the left hand, it's the pinky and the ring finger, which is the C8 nerve root or the ulnar nerve. On the right hand, it's the thumb or the pointer, which is normally the C6 nerve root. And is there weakness in the right arm on turning your wrist or no?
Um, Not that bad on doing that. It's more like lifting my arm in certain directions. It really hurts in my shoulder.
Okay, so you
Or
have
my shoulder. I
shoulder
just have,
pain as well. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. And you besides these goats and that dog, who lives with you? Are you by yourself or you live with family?
My husband, yeah, and my daughter, and I've got a teenager helping with the goats now.
Oh, good. Is that your teenage daughter helping with the goats?
Uh, Gosh, no, my daughter's 30.
Oh, I was gonna say, lady, if you
No,
figured
I
out,
have a I,
yeah, if you figured out how to get a
I
teenage
have a
daughter to
teenager
help,
that's hired.
I see. Okay, okay. Yeah, these teens today, you
Yeah,
got to pay them. Um,
I'm paying a young man, but actually we've been fortunate on our farm. We have been able to find teams that are wonderful.
that is
Uh,
very fortunate. Good for
and
you.
my daughter showed goats, so I mean, yeah, she was doing it when she was a teen too.
Yeah, yeah. You're a farm wife on a farm, and that's where you've lived your whole life.
Uh-huh.
Nice. Okay.
And that's where I'm trying to find solutions, or I'm in my 60s now. I'm going to have to find solutions or start looking at not doing what I do.
So this is a threat to your life, to the life that you want to lead.
Yeah.
Yeah. How's your husband feel about it?
Uh, well, he has his own set of issues.
Oh, you're taking care of him?
Yeah. Well, uh, and he's had both shoulders replaced.
Mm.
So, he's still out there working every day on the farm, but he has issues with some things he has limits on also.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I can tell you have the heart to get it done. You're just having trouble making that body follow your lead. That's the way it is right now?
Yeah, it's just getting healed up and figuring out. The X-rays have shown spondylolisthesis at C4-5.
Okay. And do you have your X-ray report in front of you?
I don't have it in front of me. I actually sent it in email to you, but it's not directly in front of me.
Okay, let me see if I can find it. So you have spondylolisthesis at C4-5, and you've had an MRI as well?
I've had an MRI, and they found, like in the facet joints, it's from C3-4 to C6-7. There's some facet joint issues, some calcium deposits in there.
Yeah. So you had, caller, you had surgery on your low back?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Last year I had spondylolisthesis in the lumbar L4 and 5, and it was moving 7 millimeters.
I see. So you had no choice, and did that go well?
I still have a lot of issues with my low back going on also.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but I don't have that severe pain that I had before the surgery.
Okay.
But I still have a lot of tingling in my legs, numbness. The calf of my left leg is still numb. So I've got a lot of issues going there also.
I see. Yeah, I've got the MRI report, and the radiologist does a really good job of describing. You've got facet overgrowth, which is arthritis at C3-4, especially on the right. At C4-5, you have the spondylolisthesis, which is the shifting of the vertebrae, one on the next. The problem with that is it does cause severe narrowing of the foramina, the holes that the nerve root goes through. And that foramen narrowing can cause the right shoulder pain. So that definitely makes sense. C5-6 isn't that bad, but C6-7, you've got a big disc and an osteophyte, and that is another area where there's significant narrowing. That's probably what's causing the left-sided arm pain.
So, do you think?
There's no exercises or radiofrequency ablation or other things that are going to clear this up for you. And you do have the listhesis. You have significant daily pain. I don't see you getting back to taking care of the goats on your farm and living your normal life, living your life as a farmer's wife, as a woman on a farm who helps. I just don't see that happening without surgery. So my advice to you would be to look into finding a surgeon with whom you're comfortable, because I believe that you've had a low back fusion, which works not nearly as well as
Uh-huh.
the neck surgeries work way better, just in general. It's much easier to have the
That is,
recovery.
that's what my pain specialist has been telling me, but
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
still been hesitant to go ahead and
You rode the
it's
bull. You rode the bull, which is the low back surgery, and now you're afraid to walk the goat. I mean, that,
that's kind of where I'm at. Yeah.
I mean, you rode the bull, and now you're afraid to ride the pony. Is the way it looked. I mean, it's really it you it's that low back surgery is really hard. There's a lot of recovery. There's a lot of risk. The probability of doing well is good, but not great. Neck surgery is the opposite. The recovery is very limited. The probability of doing well is very high, and the risk of having the surgery is very low. So it's really kind of your doctors also. It doesn't make sense to me like your neurosurgeon or your spine surgeon is saying you might still have neck pain, and that's definitely true, but you have radicular problems. You have hand weakness, you have radiating pain to the shoulder, and you have left arm problems. Those radicular problems are the ones which usually, frankly, go away with neck surgery. And so I'm not sure what was going
Okay,
on
so
there, but that doesn't add up. Like you should do well with surgery.
that's what uh, that's what I'm wanting to know is if I could get some improvement with surgery.
For sure. You will
I mean,
definitely get
like,
improvement. I don't
well,
can't put a number on it, can't tell you, can't guarantee anything, but definitely I would
yeah.
expect you to do enormously better with surgery. Furthermore, based on what I'm reading from your MRI, I just don't see anything that's not surgery that has a reasonable chance of helping you. So
Okay, that's
that's
kind of
surgery.
uh, that's what where I've done the epidural twice now.
Yeah, I mean it's great if you're are you having a baby?
No, I hope not.
It would be a miracle, right? I mean, the your daughter's
Yeah.
30. So my point is like epidural is the perfect kind of anesthesia for having a baby because the pain is going to come on and then be over 8 to 12 hours later. The medicine in the epidural lasts maybe 100 hours, so maybe 4 or 5 days. So it
Yeah.
doesn't change the severe, the things I'm reading about, the severe facet overgrowth, the spondylolisthesis, the thecal sac, the broad-based disc osteophyte. None of that is in any way changed by the epidural. The epidural just putting out the fire, but the fire's going to start right back up. So because the
And that's
underlying
what
stuff is there. Yeah.
it as crazy as it seemed like the first shot helped my lower back,
Yeah.
and
No,
it
it's
was a
not
shot in the
crazy.
neck. And I said,
Yeah.
"How did that happen?"
Because it's all connected. Because it's all the way you hold your neck affects the way you hold your low back. It's all connected for good and for evil. like it's when
Yeah.
it's good, but when it's bad, it spreads. You can't hold your neck right, so now your neck is off. Your low back has to compensate. It's kind of like a marriage, one can't be well without the other being well. And so it's just the way it is.
Yeah. Uh, well, this is frustrating, but
Yeah, it sounds frustrating and scary
it
and
sounds
scary.
like I'm just going to have to go ahead and bite the dust and find a surgeon that will do it.
Yeah. Well, I think your next step is definitely to find a surgeon with whom you're comfortable. And I think the surgeon that you have right now, some surgeons, they lay a lot of crepe because if you don't do well, they don't want you coming back and holding them responsible. So I'm wondering if that's what's going on. Is it a neurosurgeon or a
Uh,
ortho?
he's neuro,
I mean, they're usually the best for
and
neck.
I actually have had a couple of people suggest I go to his partner, and they said that he does a little better with brain and lumbar, and the partner does a little better with the neck. I don't
Well,
know.
that's what I was wondering, because I see that a lot with neurosurgeons and even orthosurgeons, where sometimes they're just a little, there's horses for courses, right? And sometimes one gal's better at the neck and another guy's the low back, and who knows what's better, but you want to go to the horse for your course. So I would strongly recommend, if the partner will see you, to me, that's a no-brainer. Get in to see the partner, and your pain management doctor no doubt can help you.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm sorry, caller, that this is happening, but I admire your ethic, and you're trying to get back to your own life. And I wouldn't make any changes in your life until you've exhausted what you can do to get better, and you're not there yet. So I would hit time out on, don't give up. Don't give up. And let's see what this other surgeon can do for you.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. It was nice to talk to you today. Neck problems can be so frightening. The fiber density into your arms from your brain is very high. And so when you have pain in these areas, it's very spooky, very scary. And it's very frightening to be cut off from your own life. You know, most of us don't live on farms anymore, so it's hard for us to understand exactly how physical that life is. And here's a person whose life is at stake. Her ability to live the life that she has always lived and go on and be herself is being jeopardized by this condition. It's the same process for her as it is for anybody else, whether you're on a farm or a ship or an island or wherever, in Trinidad or Canada or right here in America, in the South, the North, wherever. Find out what's wrong, look at the imaging and compare that up, and then figure out, based on the imaging and the symptoms, what the best treatment would be. In this case, it's surgery, and this caller hasn't exhausted that option. So we'll follow her along and see how things go. Find out if, hopefully, we can get some feedback on how this turns out for her. I'm really excited to find out. For Best Practice, I'm Dr. Dan Lieberman. If you have a question you would like answered on Best Practice Live, there are 3 ways to ask. Leave a comment on any of our social channels, click the link to our website and complete the submission form, or call or text us at 608-602-4022. The more information you can give us, the better we can answer your question. So please contact us and we can walk you through uploading your imaging to a secure server. Please like and subscribe to our channel to stay up to date with information about your spine and joint health. Lastly, be sure to check out new episodes every weekday at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, where we answer all your questions.